Hello and welcome to my video today. If your key fob looks like mine, you're probably in good company. I haven't been really careful with my key fob. I keep it in my pocket with a set of keys, and as you can see, there's several buttons are starting to show some wear, especially the unlock button and parts of the liftgate button. What happens is this is just a white print on here and it is rubbing off. So this will most likely happen to you unless you try to keep some protection on this. And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to clean this fob up and show you a couple of different ways of possibly restoring the keys to their original condition. First, I am going to use some isopropyl alcohol and a cleaning cloth, along with some tools that I can get inside this area here in the center. There's a groove in here that gathers some gunk. So I'm going to clean that out first, and then just generally clean the surface of the key fob. All right, I got most of the gunk and dirt that was inside that groove area out. And now I'm going to look at the actual buttons themselves. There is a faint outline of the button here, and you can see that the shape of the lock just needs to be filled in a little bit. Luckily, I have something to work with here. Some people have buttons that are totally gone, and that may require the use of stickers or some sort of replacement button image. And I'll show you what that looks like later. So let's look at what we can do with these buttons. One thing I have is a white marker that I purchased with an ultra fine tip, and it will allow me to fill in those areas that are worn off. So let me try that. I'll shake this up and see how this works. All right, I got the pen ready now, and I am going to be very careful here and fill in some of those areas. All right, so you can see I filled in a little bit of the lift gate. With these pens, you can press down to get some of the ink out, but do it very, very lightly. Possibly use a piece of paper to get the ink started, and then do very, very light taps on the key fob, because otherwise you'll get too much ink flowing. So you want to do very, very light taps. So here you can see what I've done here with the unlock button. I've tried to keep it within the outline. Not too bad. And the last one I need to do is the lock button. There's a little section here where it wore off at the top. All right, so here we go. Not too bad. So my recommendation is if you have a slight rubbing off of some of the symbols for the buttons, you can fill them in with this white marker. got to be super careful because even this ultra fine tip, it is kind of thick and you have to do it kind of like little dots at a time. And even then, it's easy to go over the outline. But in any case, I think this turned out pretty well. I'm going to let this dry. And when it's fully dried, I have heard that a good thing to use on the exterior of the key fob is a matte clear coat nail polish. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply that to the button area, and then that should give protection for these white labels for the buttons and keep them from rubbing off any further. One thing I have heard is the key company that makes these key fobs, Chevalier, does have replacement covers for these. So hopefully in the future we can order these and get, if your buttons have totally worn off, get a replacement cover. So we'll see how that works. I know that several people at Fisker Owners Association are working on that. So one thing I'll do is I'll return and do a second video when I hear about any other solutions. One thing I also want to mention is that you could use some stickers that are pre-printed stickers that show like a lock and unlock button. One of the forum members, Paul, has sent out a number of these to people, and I thank him very much for his generosity in acquiring those and sending them to people. I don't have it right here right now, but I will show you later on in the video what that looks like.
3 hours later.
So I let the marker paint dry for a couple hours to make sure that it's fully dry before I add the coating on it now, and this is what I'm going to be using. I saw this recommended. It is a clear matte top coat, and I am going to open it up after shaking it a little bit. And when you open it up, it has a little applicator, and that's what we're going to use to spread this on. I'm going to do it fairly thin. And I'm going to do I think the entire area that is around this beveled edge here. Trying to spread it out because I don't want it to get gloppy. All right, so you could probably do multiple coats. I am doing just one coat for right now and letting it dry. And I'll see what it looks like when it's done. So I'll be back. Okay, I waited about 3 hours for the matte nail polish to dry, and here are the results. I think it looks pretty decent. I'm glad it wasn't a glossy nail polish because that would probably give a very odd looking sheen to it. But I think it blends in pretty nicely with the look of the key fob itself. One thing I probably could have done is put some nail polish over this part, but oddly, this button for the California mode doesn't seem to fade as easily as the other ones. Maybe because it's lower, or hard to say why. But I guess I could put a layer on that too. And speaking of a layer, I could probably do a second coat of this just to make sure that it gives a little more protection. I probably would wait about 10 minutes or so between coats when applying this, and then leave at least 2 to 3 hours for it to fully dry before you start using it. For example, putting it back in your pocket or going for a drive. So, what do you think? Do you think this is a effective fix for the key fob buttons? Let me know in the comments section below how you feel about this. I think it's a good solution now until we get a permanent fix for these. For example, when the key fob company sends out replacement covers for these, or if you can purchase covers for these. Not sure what the situation is going to be for that, but at least for now, we have some way of keeping the key fob buttons on here. A special thanks goes out to Paul Mullen for sending out these stickers to many people on the forums. And this is really nice. What this is a sticker with the lock and unlock buttons on it. And what I did is I cut them out, and I want to show you what they look like. So here are the two buttons right here. These stickers, if you take off the backing, these will stick on the surface of the key fob, and I think they look pretty nice. I must say, if we can make some stickers like this for the other two buttons, that would be great too. Maybe we can scan these in and then have stickers made. That would be an alternative to repairing the buttons, especially if they are mostly gone and it's difficult to fill in like I did with the white pen. So just wanted to give you a look at that. Here's a closer look. So not bad. Thanks a lot, Paul. Well, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.